Welcome to Amazing Women, where we empower women with the tools and insights to live successful, balanced life. I am Adenike Adekpito, and today we are diving into a topic that is crucial for every woman: financial independence. Whether you're single, you're married, you're a career woman, or a homemaker, managing your money wisely is essential to achieving your goals. From budgeting and saving to investing for the future, financial independence doesn't happen overnight. But with the right strategies, it is possible for everyone. Joining us today is Mrs. Omolade Igebono, co-founder of a leading indigenous paint manufacturing company, Penjolat Paint and Chemicals Limited. Thank you so much for being with us here, Mrs. Omolade Igebono. Yes, we're excited to learn from you how to make smart money. According to a 2023 survey by Fidelity, only 33% of women feel confident about the financial planning, despite controlling 32% of the world's wealth. This highlights the need for more women to actively engage in financial literacy, budgeting, and investing to secure their financial future. Financial independence is not only about earning more money, but also about managing, saving, and investing it wisely. Ma'am, why is financial independence so crucial for women, especially in today's world?
So the first thing I'd like us to do is define what financial independence means.
Okay.
It is a state where an individual has sufficient financial resources in order to cater for their expenses, right? Women these days are a lot more vocal than we've been in the past, right? And we see women in industries that we've not always played in, right? So the financial space, I would say, is also another industry that women are starting to play in, right? And for us to be able to achieve some of our needs and wants, a woman has to be financially independent. We cannot keep depending on the men or on the society for every of our needs and our wants. So women are now beginning to play in those industries which are different, and financial independence should not be one of the industries a woman should not feature in. So yes, financial independence is very important for the woman.
Oh, thank you so much, ma'am. So saving money now, we know it's so difficult sometimes to save money, especially with women and all of that. What are the financial mistakes women make when trying to manage their money?
Lack of budgeting, living above your means, impulse buying.
Oh.
Those are some of the mistakes women make. You know, it's very important that we play by the rule. There's a rule in financial terms, which is the 50, 30, 20% rule. From any of your earnings, 50% goes to your needs, 30% goes to your wants, while 20% goes to your savings. How many of us women actually practice this? You know, we tend to walk into the mall without a budget or without a structure of what we want to get, and we are picking off the shelf. That's already a financial blunder. We see a beautiful hair while scrolling online. We just want it. We'll just slot in our cards or we put in our pins. We're already buying that. That's impulse buying, right? So women have to practice these rules. 50, which is for your wants. 30, which is for your needs.
20.
And then 20. Sorry, 50 for your needs, 30 for your wants, and 20 for savings.
So Mrs. Omolade Igebono, now how can women balance savings for short-term needs like emergency funds with long-term goals like retirement?
Okay, so if you recall, I mentioned earlier that there is a rule, which is the 50%, 30%, and the 20% rule. Now, remember, 20% is your savings rule, right? When you look at the amount of money you earn, and you break this down into these percentages, you take out your 20%, which is your savings. Now, I think modern society, modern day has made it very easy for us to have apps that are very readily available to us. I won't be mentioning names so it doesn't look like I'm advertising anybody. There are very available apps that women can download and use for savings. And make sure you make your research to be sure that it is trusted, you know. Now, for emergency funding, they don't just spring up, or they do spring up, I mean to say. They do spring up, right? Part of your 20% is focused on anything that comes in. So in your 20%, any emergency, that it could be loss of a loved one, it could be school fees, it could be whatever it is that comes in. You just have to take money from there. You don't just wake up and then take out your salary and say, oh, I need to pay out this money. No, everything is planned for. There is a plan. And when you stick to the 50-30 and the 20% rule, you tend to realize that things get easier for you in your journey. Financial independence is a journey. It is not something you wake up on and you're already in it. It's a journey, it's a process. It takes consistency. If you keep practicing your 20% rule every month over the years, you tend to realize that you have stocked up money that you can pull from that might not necessarily affect you at the end of the day. Now for retirement, again, pension is available to almost every Nigerian or all women. You know, you can walk into any pension office, you can request for a plan and pay a certain amount of money, you know. And there are different ways and different investments people can use for retirement. It doesn't necessarily have to be just through pension. There are also investments. It could be real estate, it could be a business, whatever a case may be. If you find and done your research and you know that this particular investment is proof, everything is a risk, but a bit of safety, you know, you can invest in that and then have that form of financial independence that helps you with your retirement and any emergency that might come along the way.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for that explanation. It's quite detailed. We appreciate that.
You're welcome.
We are just getting started with some great advice on budgeting and saving. After the break, Mrs. Omolade Igebono will share some expert tips on how to start investing and to grow your wealth. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back to Amazing Women. Before the break, we talked about the importance of budgeting and saving. Now let's turn our attention to something just as important, investing. How do we move beyond simple saving money to start making money work for us? For women, investing can seem intimidating. How can you explain why investing is so important for building long-term wealth?
Recall I mentioned there's a 20% rule. Saving your 20% out of what you earn over a period of time allows you start to have some substantial amount of money. The next thing you're thinking about is what type of investment. Just like you rightly said, investment feels like a very huge activity to embark on as a woman, you know. But I always say to people that you could start very small. You know, everything starts from a small stage and then it builds up. And with consistency, you see yourself doing bigger investments. In terms of investment, it could be as little as investing in a shop around you and selling something there. It could be as little as stock markets. It could be as little as engaging in forex with little amount of money. Over time, your interest is building, and then you start to see yourself go from thousands to millions. You know, it is the consistency and the discipline to continue at it that allows you to see yourself going to bigger investments, which could be real estate, which could be much more bigger than, you know, you would not really expect a woman should invest in. So what I would say is start small with whatever you have, right? Look around you. What can you invest in that is around you, right? From there, you start to see that as your interest increases. The thing about financial freedom or financial independence is the ability to be consistent, keep growing and expanding. It doesn't happen overnight. You have to continue at it. You have to be disciplined. You have to be focused, you know, at it. And that is why financial independence is very important for every woman. If you really want to continue to afford your needs and your wants, you have to save, you have to invest, you know. At that same way, they still let your money work for you. That's what investment does for you. It allows your money work for you. When you're sleeping, those investments are bringing in money. And when you invest, take for example, let's put you some numbers, right? Just to play around with numbers. If you invest 2 naira and it becomes 4 naira, it doesn't mean you're ready to buy a hair because you've made an interest of 2 naira. It means you should invest that. So what that means is you've moved from 2 to 4. That's increase. Yeah. That's expansion. And before you know what's happening, you're going to bigger things. You're taking bigger bites along the way. So yes, it is very important that women start to look around themselves, look around your environment. What other small thing can I invest in? Grow from there. I always tell people to start with little steps and then see themselves go for bigger ones. So yes.
Okay, so what are some beginner-friendly investment options?
Oh, just
for
like
women?
I mentioned, we have stocks. The stock markets, I think, is the safest place right now. You can buy stocks for as little as 5,000 naira. You know, you can buy stocks for as little. Just stocks are very, very affordable, very accessible is the word. Very accessible to us. Forex, if you go get if you're confident that you can play in that space. Bitcoin, you know, if you're confident that you can play in those type of spaces. So you can start with those. There are apps that you can actually use. There are a lot of apps online right now. I think today's world has made investment a lot easier than we used to have in the past. You know, you can come up on those apps. As little as 5,000 naira, people start to invest with that little. But consistency and increase allows you to start going for bigger forms of investment. Investments can be you also investing in your friend's business, as long as you sign the dotted lines.
Yes, but
there's a contract
exactly.
to it. You know, it could be someone who has a business and just needs a financier that can put in or pump in some funds into them. That's an investment. It's better than keeping your money idle in the bank, right? But again, you need to make sure that whatever investments you're getting into, you do your research so you do not cry at the end of the day from losses.
Yes, I agree. But what about those who worry about the risk of investing?
Life is
How
a
do
risk.
they navigate around that?
Nothing is easy. Everything we do is a risk, and that's why, as much as possible, do a little of your research to be sure. They are very high risk investments, right? And if you feel that you cannot play in that space, go for the low risk, and that is why I mentioned stocks. There's treasury bills. Those are investments that you are sure are very low risk that you can invest in as a woman, right? And over time, you can start to aim for bigger bites, you know, as you move. Yes.
So what's the best way to balance between low risk and high risk investments?
I would always say that you need to look at how much money you want to invest in, take that as a chunk, and spread it. Percentages are very important. You can invest about 70% into your low risk, 30% into your high risk. So at the end of the day, if you are not so exposed, and if you lose the money, you are not at the receiving end of your losses alone. So go for 70% for your low risk, and then high risk. But we must take risk in life. Yes.
That's true. So we must all take risk in life.
Yes, we must.
Thank you, Bob. Thank you so much for that. We've heard some great insights on how to get started with investing, but there is still more to explore. After the break, we'll talk about how to keep your financial plan on track and how women can build confidence in managing their money. Stay tuned. We've discussed budgeting, saving, and investing. But now let's talk about how to stay on track and keep building financial confidence. Managing your money is a lifelong journey, and it's important to stay motivated and informed. How often should women review their budget, savings, and investment?
I'll say monthly, and this is my reason. We are in a dynamic world. Things are changing every single day, right? You need to go through your savings, your budgeting, because prices keep changing, expenditures will keep changing, a lot of things will keep happening. So you need to be sure that you're on track. Always remember the rules of your 50%, your 30%, and your 20%. When it comes to your 50%, that's the caters for your needs. You need to check what is going on. You need to check how you should make some changes if there is need for that to happen. And that cannot be done if you do not review monthly to do a comparison between month A and month B. If you do not do that, you will most likely run into trouble, in the nearest future, right? For your savings, the same thing. The same thing applies. You need to keep reviewing to be sure that you're on track, and to also notice where you can increase your savings, right? So all of these reviews are very necessary. Just like you mentioned, it's a lifelong journey. It is not something that happens overnight. With conscious efforts has to be done. It's like a company, right? Like you're a CEO of your life. You need to ensure that you are focused on your numbers. Numbers are very important in everything that we do, right? And it's in those numbers that you're able to pick when something is wrong. So yes, review monthly.
Okay, that's interesting. So what are some practical steps women should take to feel confident, like let them feel confident with the steps for managing their money and resources?
Budgeting. That's the only solution. You must know how much you earn and how much you're pushing out. Yeah. That's the only way you are sure that at the end of the day, you are not going above your means.
Yeah.
You are not overshooting your budget. You are not running into debts. You are not running into losses. Right? Budgeting allows you know how good you are in terms of your numbers. So budgeting is very important in everything that you do. And you can do your budgeting on your tab, you can do it on your phone. A lot of women don't even know how much they spend in a month in terms of grocery, transportation, feeding. You should know. It allows you know if you're spending more than your 50% or less. And when you start to see that you're spending less of 50%, it's not time to celebrate, to buy yourself something. It's time to move that extra into your savings.
Okay.
Yes. So it's very important that you monitor your numbers.
How can women take ownership of their financial future?
As it is now, women are taking ownership of everything that has to do with them, right? Women are a lot more vocal. Women are now in sectors that we do not expect them to be at. And for you to take ownership of your financial freedom, you need to know your numbers, know where you can move, like you say, monitor the risk, and know where to go for high risk and low risk. Monitor the market you're currently playing in. Are you in the stock market? Are you doing forex? With experience, with time, you tend to see opportunities that you can invest in, that you can grasp. Yes, right? If it's a business you're currently doing, how much did you start with the business? Have you checked your numbers? Have you scaled up your business to know that, oh, I'm no longer running on 5 million naira, I'm now running on 10 million naira. What can I do to invest to make an extra income for myself? Those are ways. If you don't monitor these things, you're not able to know where to scale up or where to pause or where to manage or where to close any loose gaps. So it is very important that you monitor. It's very important that you budget. It's very important that you keep your ears to the ground for good investment opportunities. They spring up every day. And information is everywhere. In all honesty, your banks are good helpers. Yes, your banks are good helpers. We have investment bankers. We have investment companies springing up, right? Those are ways you can also tell yourself, oh, I'm going to listen to this person, have conversations, have meetings with them, listen to people, have interactions with other people who have also invested in them, hear their reviews, and see if it's something you're going to invest in. I don't think women should shy away from it. I don't see why women shouldn't buy landed properties. I don't see why women shouldn't play in the real estate industries. Why not? Women should. And we are better managers at the end of the day, so why not?
So the thing is for women to budget, to monitor it as well, and not be intimidated.
Yes. Take risk.
Thank you. Let's go into your personal investment story. Would you like to share your journey with us?
Of course.
Okay.
All right then. I started out as a marketing strategist, working under paid employment. Yes, and I follow the rules of the 50, the 30, and the 20%.
Okay.
Religiously. Religiously. And over a period of time, I saw an opportunity for us to, open a company. And that's why, like you mentioned during the introductions, as the co-founder, I saw that there was an opportunity in this sector. I really want to be in this sector, and that's why I moved from the marketing strategy into the manufacturing sector. So I'm presently in the manufacturing sector, and I haven't stayed just in the manufacturing sector. I've also moved from the manufacturing sector to other sectors, right? Why? Because I am monitoring my numbers. I can see that there are opportunities I want to delve into, right? And I've seen that women, just like I said, are better managers. We tend to think that women shy away from things. We're just better at analyzing risk. We're better at seeing some of the numbers to say, oh, I think I should take a pause for now. I think this can wait for now while I adjust or move some of these things around. And then you see us put ourselves in places where you would not expect us to thrive and do so great. So I've moved from the marketing sector, I moved into the manufacturing sector, and I've moved into other sectors because I've seen that there are opportunities in those sectors, and I am not going to sit and watch money lie on my table. So I've decided to grab it, and that's why I have moved across the different industries I found myself in. Right? Yes. So that is it.
That's inspiring. We've covered so many valuable information on financial independence, But we are not done yet. When we come back, we'll hear Mrs. Omolade Igebunu's final tips on how you can continue your journey towards financial freedom. Don't miss it. Welcome back to Amazing Women. We are wrapping up our discussion on financial independence with some final thought from Mrs. Omolade Igiobunu. We have learned a lot about budgeting, saving and investing today, and now we want to hear how women can take these strategies forward and secure their financial future. Do you have any advice for women on how to stay financially empowered even when life gets challenging?
I would always say to women, your financial independence is your gateway to anything. You can be anything as long as you're financially empowered. Never lose sight of that. Never miss that. Right? Delayed gratification. I would always say to women, look past now. Save for the future. The raining day is coming. If you do not save for the raining day, you will get bitten by the rain, literally, right? So you should have delayed gratification. Remember that what you cannot afford now, with consistency, with investment, with savings, you will spoil yourself. That's where your 30% comes in, which is your wants. You would end up spoiling yourself, right? And look for ways you can cut out excesses. If you have to do a bulk buy, do a bulk buy. If you need to do bulk buy and sharing, do those things. Join groups that allows you, especially if you want to cater for your home, that allows you to bulk buy, get things at a cheaper rate so you can save more. Times are challenging, times are getting tougher as we move. Women have to be wiser and more strategic on how to be able to bring down their expenditures, right? If some things are not as important, always wait. It's a scale of preference. What is your want? What is your need? If it's not important now, it can wait then. That's what it is. So delayed gratification is very, very important for women to understand that tomorrow I can actually achieve this, but for now I have to deny myself of this joy so that I can gain from tomorrow. So yes.
We hope you've heard what Mrs. Omolade Ogibuni said. Now, not just to listen to that, but also to put that into action. Thank you so much, ma'am, for sharing your expertise with us here today.
Pleasure is mine.
We're really grateful. So from Amazing Women, we have a token for you. Thank you for coming.
Thank you, Amazing
We
Women.
appreciate your presence.
Thank you so much.
Financial independence is a powerful tool, and you've given us some great insights on how to manage our money wisely and to grow our wealth. To our viewers, remember that financial independence isn't just about making money. It's about managing it, saving it, and investing it for your future. Whether you're just starting out or you're on your way, it's never too late to take control of your financial journey. If you have any question or want to share your financial tip, connect with us on social media. We would love to hear your stories and keep the conversations going. Thank you for watching Amazing Women, and we'll see you next time. Until then, take control of your finances and keep working towards your goal. Bye for now.